Hey. It's Tuesday. I choose me. Hashtag no more excuses. That's what the journey is all about. It's about showing up for yourself. Hey. Say hello if you tune in. Say hello. It's Tuesday night. Hey, Sapphire, thank you for tuning in. Hey, Shamika, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. It's Tuesdays. It's time for us to love ourselves to life, y'all. Thank you for sharing. Please invite your friends. If you're tuning in, share so they don't miss the message. Let them be a part of the movement of growing themselves and loving themselves to life. That's what the journey is all about. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so excited about today's topic. If you tune in just now, say hello. Remember, this is not just me talking to you. It's us talking together. It's about us moving together. It's about us showing up for each other. It's about us walking in our light and in our purpose so that we can be a blessing to somebody else. That's what this Tuesday night is all about. And so I want us to show up for ourselves. I want us to celebrate each other. And I want us to at least say, hello, I'm here. Hey, Nick, thank you for tuning in. Hey, Aunt Karen, thank you for tuning in. Yes, it's a new week. Have you been loving on yourself this week? Have you been putting yourself first? Have you been loving yourself to life? That's what the journey is. Every Tuesday is about reaffirming what we're trying to do in our walk and our purpose and in our lives. We're trying to live our best life by showing up for ourselves each and every day. It is raining out here, and so it's the day to just lay back, relax, and so it's a perfect calm day to come and do I Choose Me. And so, you know, I always like to start with our motto, and our motto is, I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. Because that's what the journey of I Choose Me is all about. It's about showing up for yourself, loving yourself, and inspiring your future by accepting your past so that you could be present. And so that's what the journey is all about. And, you know, before I go any further, I always like to start by thanking you for tuning in to I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses, with precious thoughts from your soul, where I offer my peace, my purpose, which is soul coaching you into a better relationship with yourself so that you can unlock your purpose in the present, therefore always bringing your gift, because that's what the journey is all about, recognizing you are a gift. And so it's my intention to inspire you to open yourself up so you know what you're giving away and that you no longer sell yourself too short because you were born enough. And that's what the journey of I Choose Me is all about. It's about embracing and acknowledging that we were born enough. And so for our next stop on the journey, hey Gigi, thank you for tuning in. And so for this week on the journey, our next stop on the journey of I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses, is, I'm sorry, the kids are banging at the door. They act crazy.
Why?
Calm down. Going upstairs.
Why you come this way?
He don't know what time it is. Be careful, babe. Get upstairs. Well, sorry. My son was next door. He came over here banging like he was crazy. But anyway, our topic for today is remove the shame so you can get in your lane. And so I want to go over the definitions. We're going to do 2 definitions this week. We're going to do a definition for shame and lane. So shame, the first one is a noun. A painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. Synonyms are embarrassment and discomfort. So that's what shame is. The verb of shame is a person, action, or situation makes someone feel ashamed. The synonyms is mortify, abashed, take down a peg or two, or cut down to size. That's shame, feeling like inadequate. The next word is lane. Is a noun. A division of a road marked off with painted lines and intended to separate single lines of traffic according to speed or direction. The synonym is track, way, or course for lane. And so now, are you ready to remove the shame so you can get in your lane? And so I wrote some key notes because when I was thinking about this today, oh, my mind was just spinning. It was racing. And so before I start talking, I want us to soak that in now. Everybody who's listening, are y'all soaking that in? Are you ready to remove the shame so that you can get in your lane? The first point I'm going to talk about is shame is the excuse. Which leads back to I choose me, hashtag no more excuses. What I want this movement to be about is us showing up in the things that make us us. It's about us being able to remove the shame of all the situations that was intended to teach us a lesson in order for us to move further in our purpose toward our destiny. And so sometimes we have shame that we hold on to that have something to do with us, that's in our control as well as outside of our control. So whichever level of shame you're holding on to, whether it's because you stayed too long in an abusive relationship, or the shame of, not want to tell that story, whether it's because you've been molested in the past and the shame of nobody wanting anybody to look at you or feel bad for you or feel your humiliation or, those kind of things. The shame of maybe making a wrong decision when you knew better and you were taught better. But you wanted to take the easy way out. And so you went a different route so that you can get quicker to somewhere that you thought you were supposed to be headed, only to find out you were headed in the wrong directions. I'm talking about the shame that breaks us down in life. But the very shame that breaks us down in life are the very things that were built and made to build us up, made to have us walk in the direction in which we were designed to walk, have us show up in our purpose in a way that allows us to tell our story and shine a light. And so I want to know if you got shames in your life, that whether you were in control of or out of control of, are you embracing it enough to understand that it was necessary in order for you to reach your supreme moment of destiny? That shame is the excuse we hold on to not show up. I'm telling you that the shame is what you got to let go of so that you can show up in your life and let people see how blessed you are, and let people see how far you've come, and let people see how you are ready to be who you were called to be. The next topic was, the next point was, every time you remove shame, you reclaim your spirit. What I mean by reclaiming your spirit is, the shame is designed to make us not show up for our divine assignment. The shame is designed to hold us back from our greatness. And so, are you showing up and removing the shame out of whatever it is that you've been through, whatever it is that hurt you, whatever it is that let you down? Are you willing to embrace that was necessary in order for you to reclaim that spirit? Every time you stop and let go of something that you can't change, every time you stop and accept that it was a part of your story, every time you stop and show up, it allows you to be who you were called to be. It allows you to get another step further in your direction. It allows you to show up and shine a light on somebody else. Because isn't that what the journey is all about? It's about being a blessing to somebody else. It's about allowing your lessons to become a blessing. That's how they become blessings. It becomes blessings when you show up and remove the shame and understand that it was a part of who you were designed to be. And when you hide from the things that have broken you, you hide from who you were created to be and what light you were designed to walk on. Gia Jory said, yes, that's what allows me not to stay stuck in my shame. Absolutely. And so necessary. It is definitely necessary. The next point that I wanted to touch on was, the shame of what holds you back from loving who you were created to be. The shame is what tells you that you are not enough. The shame is what tells you that you can't be used. The shame is what tells you that you're not supposed to live the life you dreamed of. The shame is what stops you from being who you were designed to be. The shame is what is supposed to be removed in order for you to prove that you know who you are. The shame was just it's a lesson. It's the lesson on that next step. It's the lesson on your purpose. It's a lesson in your promise. That shame was designed. God knew you were going to go through that. He designed it because where he wanted you to go, you needed to experience that so that you can relate and that you can recognize that pain in somebody else. Nothing was done in vain. It was done for you to show up in your promise on the journey that you was designed to go on. And so the next point that I wanted to speak on the journey of the I Choose Me and removing the shame is the kryptonite to your purpose. I don't know if y'all got that. Shame is the kryptonite to your purpose. And those of you who are not aware of what kryptonite is, I'm sure everybody saw Superman. And kryptonite was the one thing that made him break down, the one thing that stopped him from being great. When you hold on to the shame, that is the kryptonite to your story. That is the kryptonite to God's glory. In order for you to show up in your gift, in order for you to show up in your purpose, you have got to embrace whatever it is or whatever the lesson that was supposed to be teaching you. But when you hide from what was supposed to build you up, when you go underneath it and stop showing up in the level and the magnitude in which you were created to show up on, that is when you break down the purpose that you were created to live. That is when you prolong your destiny. That is when you take so many side roads in a direction to where you're going because you have decided that you were not enough because of what you've been through. You forgot that because of what you've been through is why you were created enough. Because of what you went through is because it's the reason life is waiting on you. It's the reason people are waiting on you. It's the reason you were created enough. The next point that I wanted to touch on is removing the shame are the tolls you pay on the road to your destiny. Do you understand what I just said? Removing the shame are the tolls you pay on the road to your destiny. Every time you stand up in your story, you pay another toll to get further in where God is sending you. Every time you embrace the lesson, you pay another toll to get you further along where you were created and designed to go. The reason we are not getting to where we are created to go, the reason we are not making it to the levels in which our heart chose us to and our mind tells us we can go, is because we're holding on to shame of all our circumstances, all our situations, all our pains, all the things that we cannot change. And that is why week after week I tell you to embrace the preparation. Embrace the preparation of wanting to be great. Embrace the preparation of wanting to be put and set aside. Embrace the preparation that it takes in order to be great. You got to go through some great things. There are levels and there are heights in which you are designed to go. If you can remove the shame and take the power from your pain, take the power from your story and make it your victory, make it your lesson, make it be a blessing. And so at this time we have gotten through all those pieces. I want to share our poem for the week. It's called Not Used Up. The choices of my past I can't take back, which makes me feel like my life has fallen off track. For I feel so used up and my pain runs so deep. And I keep praying to God, my soul he will keep. Why is it I feel I'm not worthy to be walking around for others to see? So see, when they look at me, my bad choices I made, then I had to remind myself that Jesus died so my debt can be paid. So as long as I'm living, God has given me another day to try to live my life in a different way. I had to learn to accept my choices that I have made in the past. if I was going to have a spirit sure to last. Last through my future as I move on in my journey. And know in my life, I'm a living testimony. If just knowing through my trials I can save someone's life, then it helps surrender the pain of all my strife. I had to love myself through my indiscretions and free me of my hold. And know that in my trying times, God is getting ready to mold. Mold me in a way that allows others to see that God can do for you what he has already done for me. Set me on a new path stronger than ever, knowing in the depth of my soul we are going together. So I am not used up for as long as God's given me breath day to day. I have a life worth living. And so I just want you to understand that in order for you to be great, in order for you to show up, in order for you to be who you were called to be, you have to remove the shame and understand that it's necessary for where you dream to go. Every step on this journey of loving yourself, every step on this journey of pains and disappointments, every step on the road of living your best life requires you to know who you were created to be. It requires you to embrace every lesson you have been taught. It requires you to show up in a magnitude that puts yourself first always. It requires you to embrace that you were created to be a blessing to somebody else. And that as long as you hold on to your story, and as long as you hold on to the pain of what you've been through, as long as you embrace the shame of whatever lesson you were learning, instead of embracing that you were sent through it so that you could take somebody else to it. You were sent through it so that you could be a blessing in somebody else's journey. But if we sit down in our story, if we be embarrassed by the lessons we had to learn, instead of embracing that the lessons were necessary for us to be great. If you never fell down, how can you appreciate being standing up? If you never taste something sour, how can you enjoy something sweet? If you've never been through the struggle, how can you appreciate when you get blessed? You won't be able to recognize it because life has been too good to you. And sometimes it requires us to be pulled aside and pecked apart and be molded in a way that allows us to show up for our purpose. So the shame that you're holding on to, it's not yours. The shame is your kryptonite to your purpose, guys. If you're not living out your purpose, it's because you've embraced the shame. And if you want to get further in your journey, then you have to understand that it was necessary. It was necessary. Whatever you've been through was necessary. Kia said, guide me. May I serve in my purpose, Lord? Yes. Yes, that's what it's all about. It's about serving. Nick said, mold me. Get ready to be molded, people. I said we are so excited about living this great life. And we're so excited about being all these things we've always dreamed of being. But we don't want to go through it. We don't want to experience it. We don't want to embrace the process. We don't want to understand that it was necessary for us to go through these things in order for us to be great. If you ever sit down and look at great ones' lives, if you ever sit and look at people's story, you got to definitely look at the process. Don't get caught up in the end result. But get caught up in the whole journey, because the whole journey is what tells the story. The whole journey is what shows you the dynamic of what it takes to be where you want to be. So before you beg for the life of your dreams, before you dream of the life of your dreams, embrace that it's going to be a process. Embrace that you're going to have to be molded. And you know when you mold something, you got to hold, poke, bend. You got to do all those things to be molded. Do you know to mold something, it gotta hurt? Do you know to mold something, it has to be carved out? And if you want to be the perfect you, if you want to show up in your perfection because you were one of a kind and that the world is waiting on that, then you got to be ready to be bent. And you got to be ready to be torn. And you got to be ready to be shaped. And you got to be ready to be molded, sharp and precise. So that you can show up in your purpose. So that you can show up in your life. And so that you can show up in your journey. You were created Dynamic, as Gigi said. Dynamic. That's how you was created. You were created with a purpose. You were created with a divine assignment. But until you can embrace that it's going to take the pulling, that is going to take some shame, that is going to take some lessons, that is going to take some stretching, until you can embrace that part, you're not ready for the greatness. Because greatness is underneath all of that. After you have proven that you are ready to go to where you were designed to go, your divine assignment, by the divine connections that you are given in your life, it requires you to leave the shame behind. The shame are the excuses we tell ourselves that make us inadequate to show up in our purpose. It's no more excuses, y'all. That's what the I Choose Me journey is all about. It's no more excuses. Nothing is going to stop us from being great. Nothing is going to stop us from showing up. Nothing is going to stop us from living our best life if we can embrace the preparation. If we can remove the shame and understand that it was required for us to get to where we were going, and that God sees us. He know what you are going to go through. He intended for you to go through it because he had some people on your journey that you were supposed to bless. He got some people on your journey that are holding up your blessings. He got some people on your journey that are divine connections because you both went through the same things. But if you commit to the shame of the process instead of understanding that it was a gain in the process, then you lose focus on where you were designed to go. And so I challenge you to love yourself to life. I challenge you to embrace everything that made you who you are. Because the good with the bad is what makes you great. It's what gives you balance. It's what creates your story. It's what makes you worthy of what is waiting on you in your supreme moment of destiny. Don't you want to be worthy? Don't you want to stand up proud and know that I earned every bit of who I am? Don't you want to be able to say that I am great because of what I've been through? And that in spite of what you think you know about me, I know more about me. And I know that I had a divine assignment. I'm going to show up no matter what nobody else thinks about who I am or who I was. Because who I was is directly related to who I'm supposed to be. And so I embrace the process. I embrace the journey. I release the shame. I take the game, and I'm going to show up in my purpose so that I can be who I was designed to be. Nakia said, no more excuses. I erase all the fear and uncomfortability that cripples me and is holding me back from what God has for me. Absolutely. Stop allowing the things in your life to hinder you from your blessing, because the things in your life was meant to lift you higher. It is because of those things that you are supposed to be blessed. It is because of those things that you have something waiting on you. It's because of those things that you will have the life of your dreams. It's because of all the pain you went through. If Jesus did it, so can we, right? He showed us it's time for us to overcome and be great. Overcome the shame, because we all have shame. That's right, Gigi. Nobody's exempt for the rule. I mean, we keep on walking around and convincing ourselves that if I hide out here and I hide out here, people will never know my truth. As long as the higher you go, the more people know that you've been through some things. If you wasn't born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you've been through some things that gained you the right to be able to walk in a space and a place in which you're walking in. Nothing is given to anybody. Everything is earned, whether you want to believe it or not. Even if you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, that thing was earned, because maybe you had parents who were never there. Maybe you lacked other things. So sometimes never get caught up in what the material things people have. Because sometimes you can give people all the material things in the world and they still can't be happy. You know why? Because they haven't recognized that who they were and who they are was enough. We deal with suicides every day in the younger generations and even as older people, even as stars. Why? Because we haven't been able to embrace who we were created to be. We haven't been able to embrace that the shame or whatever the story, whatever the thing that you're telling yourself is not enough to hinder you from showing up in your purpose. It's not enough that you cannot shine a light on somebody else. And so stop allowing people's expectations and people's opinions of who you are to dictate where you're going. You have the keys. You have the tools. And I am trying to get you to recognize that until you use your key on yourself, you'll be sitting around waiting for everything you've always dreamed of. Until you use your keys, you'll never walk in your purpose. Until you use your keys, you'll never unlock the secret of what makes you great. The secret of what makes you great is lying inside. It's lying tucked under that shame. It's lying tucked under them disappointments. It's lying tucked under them all the things that have stopped you from thinking that you can show up in your life. We're waiting for you to show up. The world is waiting for you to bring your what? Your masterpiece. And the way you do that is saying that I was born enough. And what I've been through is why I am so worthy. And what I've been through is why I'm so great and why I'm so strong and why I have the tenacity to endure to the end, because I was created and built for this ride. You were created and built for the ride and the journey that you're on. So stop slowing down your car. Stop forfeiting your opportunities. Stop walking away from your promises because you don't think you're enough. I'm here to tell you, you are enough. I've been through some things. I've been hurt, but I'm enough. We all have a story to tell. Nobody's exempt from it. But we got to understand we're enough. And who we are is enough. And that there's beauty in us all. And that in order for other people to see the beauty, we have to show it to them. So open up yourself and show people your beauty so they can respect and admire who you were created to be because you said so. Start saying so in your life by showing up and removing the shame and taking the game so you can get in the lane and get to where you're designed to go. Your divine assignment is waiting on you. Your divine assignment is waiting on you. And so I just want to say at this time, if there's anybody that wants to have a question or anything to say, here's the time where I go over a few points that I want to leave. I want to remind everybody about First Fridays, or if you're in the Charlotte area, First Friday of every month, I do what I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses, bring your gift and talents, from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Little Rock Culture Center at 401 North Myers Street. And so on August 4th, we'll celebrate the birthdays in August, which is me. Yay, I'm one of the August birthday Leos represent. But we're going to celebrate us for the month of August. We're also going to celebrate everybody who has a gift and a talent. And so if you're in the area, please bring your gift. And it's kid friendly, so it's family oriented. So please bring your family, bring your friends, and come up and show up for yourself. Show up to help build each other, help support each other so that we can use our gifts, so we can teach our kids to use their gifts so they can be great, to use their gifts so they can be entrepreneurs, to use their gift so they can show up in their purpose, so they can know a little bit. They can get a tap into what their divine assignment is. When you tap into your gift, you allow yourself to tap into your divine assignment, and you make your life a whole lot easier. So please, if you're here on August 4th, if you're in town or if you're in the Charlotte area, from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Little Rock Culture Center, please come out. It's a gallery crawl, and it's about us being family in the city, in the community. It's free. So come out and celebrate. The second reminder is auditions for my play, Picking Up the Broken Pieces, will be on August 12th and August 19th from 10 to 1 p.m. Also at the Little Rock Culture Center at 401 North Myers Street. Please, if you have a gift, a talent of being a star, of being in a play, I'm telling you, you want to be a part of this play. You want to be a part of this special moment. You want to be a part of Picking Up the Broken Pieces. So I'm looking for men, women, and a teenager. So if you have a teenager who wants to be in acting or who wants to show their gift, please let them come out to auditions. Once again, that's August 12th and 19th, 2 Saturdays, from 10 to 1 p.m. at the Little Rock Culture Center at 401 North Myers Street. We're getting ready to do some big things. You want to be a part of the journey. Last but not least, please, if you have any questions or you want to get some soul coaching, I'm telling you, I can change your life through my soul coaching. So if you want something, you can email me at iChooseMeMovement@gmail.com. And please follow me on Instagram at iChooseMeMovement. On Instagram. So at this time, I just want to thank you guys for your time. I want to thank you for showing up. I want to thank you for being a part of Tuesday night of loving yourself to life, of celebrating each other. And so if this you enjoyed this video, please share it. Please share it with your friends. Please pass it on, because the movement is for us all. We want to become a household name of people loving themselves to life, because when you love you, everybody else loves you. You teach people how to treat you. And so we got to I choose me with no more excuses, so that we could show up in our right, in our light, and be who we were designed and called to be. And so, like always, thank you, Brenda and Mary and Juan and Miss Hooper, Gigi, Anita, everybody for tuning in. If you came in late, please look at it again. I'm telling you, it was worth it. But at this time, I want to end with our motto, which is, I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. That's what the journey of I Choose Me is all about. So love yourself to life, so that you can teach people how to treat you, and that you can show up in your divine assignment, so you can fulfill your supreme moment of destiny. The world is waiting on your masterpiece. And so we're going to love each other to life. Love you. And until next week, love grows everything. So love yourself first. One love. Hey, Nick. Mwah. Kisses to you, too. You guys have an amazing day. Hey, Mina. Thank you for tuning in. I love you guys.